Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is Saturday, June 24th, and I am so happy to be here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This channel is about my hobbies that I like. Cross stitching, a little bit of sewing, maybe a little bit of quilting eventually, paper crafting. I love to make cards and treat boxes and things like that. I do a little scrapbooking too, so things like that. If you are returning, welcome back, and thanks so much for joining me. If you like what you see, please ring that subscribe, ring the notification bell, like the video, comment. I love to hear from all of you. We're getting closer to 1,000 subscribers, and I'd like to do a big, a giveaway thing when we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So, anyways, so that's just a dream, a hope, and a dream. Anyways, this week went by pretty fast. It was our first week of our summer camp programs. We've got 3 of them going on simultaneously between 2 different locations, and it wasn't without your usual first week of camp ironing out of the kinks, but then we also had an employee at each location call out with the flu, and we had someone else who got into a little minor traffic collision, and 2 of our directors had to go to a family member's wedding. So, I mean, what are you going to say? No, you can't go. I mean, so it was a little unusual in some respects for a first week of camp. In other respects, it was just what it was supposed to be. It was fine. So we've got 8 more left to go. 8 more weeks and we're done. Surprisingly enough, I got a lot done stitching wise. I kind of veered away from the red, white, and June stitching. I just felt like I needed to do something a little different, and so I did. And we will go over that today. No new starts, tiny bit of haul, and I think that's it. So why don't I start with some WIPs? If I sound like I'm out of breath, I got up this morning totally fine, and I went to go get dressed so that I could, do a little cleaning in the house, and I pulled my back, I pulled a muscle right behind my shoulder blade, and it hurts. I can't take a deep breath. It'll get better. I just had a little lunch, and I took a bunch. I took 3 Advil. I'm, just see if that will help. I also, this week kind of developed what I'm guessing is TMJ, which I've never had before. So I'm really not very happy about that either. So hopefully the Advil will help take care of both of those things, and I'll be good to go in a little bit. One of the things I worked on this weekend was Dreaming of Poppies. I decided I needed to get this one out again. I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks, and I finally just decided, nope, get it out. So that's what I did. And I moved it along. I'm stitching this on 32 count Winter Moon linen by Zweigart. And this is my progress. So I worked on this motif here. Added the greenery to that motif, did the flower. So my goal is to stitch it all the way across the bottom, and then to go back and fill in the sections, because The way that this pattern is cut out, or not cut out, the way that the pattern is organized is it's divvied up into sections, and there are 12 sections. So like that's a section, and then you have to go, and then you go to section like 7, and that's a section, you know. So it's really challenging. And I had started this before. I know I've mentioned it before, but so many of you are new. I started it before, and I started it over too far, and I didn't really take into account if it was going to go all the way across the bottom. So what I'd like to do is just stitch all the way across the bottom, make sure I have enough space here. I know I will have enough space height-wise. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll fill in each of those sections, but I want to get the bottom pieces down. I'm sorry, guys. I'm struggling so much with this camera thing. So, and I got tired of having the flosses just hang by skeins or on my little bobbins, so I put them all on floss drops, and it's so much better. And I've organized them in numerical order, smallest to largest number. So these are the colors. They're beautiful. They're bright. I love it. So I'll keep working on that. See if I can't get it across the bottom so I can start working my way up. I think it'll be really pretty when it's all done. I did pull out and work a little bit more on Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I'm working on the brown house. I've got these houses done. I'm working on this house, and this is what's taking me so long. I can work on all the other motifs and move it along pretty quickly once this house is done. I love houses and samplers. I don't love stitching them so much. So it's taking me a little bit to get through it. Every time I sit down though, I set a goal and I try to meet that goal for that period of time that I'm stitching. I'm using the called for colors, and I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country Mocha Newcastle linen. And so what I did, that's how far I am. And what I got done was I filled in the details on the windows. So I did the panes, the window panes, and I filled it in with the dark navy blue. I don't know if you can tell that that's navy, but it's a dark navy blue. So the next time I sit down, I'll try to get the windows done for the top, and then I'll start the roof and work on the roof and the chimney, and then above that house it says Land That I Love, and then I'll be able to drop back down in here and kind of start working my way up, and then focus on the middle section. This was a birthday start last year. I don't think it'll be done by my birthday. My birthday is in a couple of months, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get. And then these are the flosses. So just really nice muted patriotic colors. Really pretty palette. So I love that one. I put in quite a bit of work on the Chicken Club by Fat Quarter Shop. It's a pattern by Lori Holt. Part of my job duties with one of our camp programs is I get to stay overnight at the camp on the overnighter, which is totally fine. I love it out there. I grew up out there. It's fine. I need to stay up pretty much all night, and I usually bring a book with me. That's usually when I get a ton of reading done, And I did. I got a little bit of reading done, but I really wanted to focus on the chicken club. So I pulled out Florence and I worked on her by lantern light. So hopefully it will, there's no mistakes. I keep looking at it thinking, where are the mistakes? And actually the stitches, they're not bad. And I stitched it in hand. But I got the green of her body pretty close to being done. I think I just had a little bit here and a little bit up here. I just had like that much done. So I finished here and then I came down and I did all of that. And it wasn't, you know, a solid 6 or 8 hours of stitching because I had recently graduated high schoolers come out and visit for a while, and my husband brought me dinner, and so we sat out there and chatted for a while. So I didn't work on it consistently throughout the night, but I worked on it a good portion of the night. And I did it, this one, because it was on the Lugana, or actually Evenweave. Because this came from a Fat Quarter Shop, it's like a club purchase, then I got the fabric with it. So 25 count Evenweave in Barley. Would I have really liked to have taken one of my other pieces that were in linen and get some progress done on that? Sure. But I also didn't want, you know, something to happen to it when you're sitting in a campsite at a table, and activities been done on that table all week long by little children. You just don't really know what you're getting into. And I figured with the chicken, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I had to start her over. I wouldn't have been happy, but it wouldn't have been the end of the world. Plus, I thought with the DMC, I could wash it and not worry about the colors bleeding. So that's why I chose to do this one. And I'm glad that I did, because the lanterns that we have are rechargeable. I think they were picked up at Walmart, and they have 3 or 4 different settings to let out light, different brightnesses of light. So I just had 2 that were pretty bright, and I was a little slow, but I could see well enough. I didn't get any eye strain or anything, so that was good. And these are the called for flosses. It came in a floss pack for all 12 of the chickens. The floss pack came with all the colors and the right amount of skeins that you need. So, then I just lost the needle. Okay. So, hopefully I will find that later. So yeah, so I worked on that. It was a nice evening. Got a little cold. It seems like when we flipped to the summer solstice, all of a sudden our weather like magically became summer. So we've got warmer days. Our nights are still cold. Excuse me. Sorry, had to sneeze. So it's been nice. The weather has warmed up. So now we're more in the 70s and the 60s, which is still a little below our normal, like our daytime average is still a little low, but we're getting there. I put in some time on the Spangled Ornaments. I finished the flag and the USA. And I finished the popsicle. I'm stitching this on the called for 25 count Evenweave in Pebble. Vintage cloth by Holt. And I'm using the called for flosses, which are the Classic Colorworks. And then that also, I guess this technically is a new start. I started working on the heart and the watermelon here and the blueberry pie here. I was watching Artie the Vintage Stitcher, and she would take one color and work all of that color through all 12 designs. I'm not going to do 12. I'm going to do until the maybe 2, potentially 3, which is what I did last night because I had enough of the blue left on my needle that I just wanted to kind of put some into a third one. But I started the heart, and I started the watermelon, and I started the blueberry pie. I only have 6 more left to do, so I'd like to make this one of my focuses this week. I am not going to get any morning stitching done like I typically do, just because I have to be at work much earlier than usual. Traffic control. I do it all at work. I do it all. Someone said, I need to know Stacy's job title. Is it doer of all things or something like that? And right now, yes, it is. I put in some time. Be True by the Calico Confectionery. And I'm stitching this on a really pretty gray fabric. Slate is the color, 40 count Newcastle linen. And so I finished the green grass, and I added the flower. Started working on that. So it's coming along nicely. So using the called for DMCs. I don't know if it calls for other colors. No, all DMCs. Using the called for DMCs. Now, I knew when I started the red, white, and June patriotic stitching and started all of these patriotic stitches, I knew that I wasn't going to get probably any of them done, and I was okay with that. I've got to jump on it. My living room has a really pretty blue wall, and I have a giant wooden flag hanging on one of the walls, and so patriotic is really part of my everyday. So when it gets done, it gets done. It'll be fine. Okay. Next, I pulled out, because I'm behind, on Simple Life Sal by Teresa Kogut. In her Patreon group, Tier 4 Mystery Sal. And I actually printed out, she went down here because people were kind of saying, can we finish the house? So instead of going, this way and then this way, she did this and then this. And I don't know if she's going to go here and here or here and here. But anyways, I'm really enjoying this one. I think this is the first time I've really done a project like this where it is a bunch of independent little motifs. So while I get a little overwhelmed thinking that it's going to take a long time, it really is going by pretty quickly. I'm stitching this on the called for fabric, 40 count Overcast by Cedar River. And this is my progress. So I started working on the bird here, And I finished the beehives and I added some of the bees and I started working on the trees at the top. And this was just, I think an evening, perhaps 2. I don't, if it was 2, it was, I did something else and then I pulled this out and worked on it a little bit. It wasn't an entire evening. But yeah, I'm liking it. I like the size of it on the 40 count. It's not going to be too big. This linen is really pretty. Oh, you can't see it very well. So I'm excited. I'm going to have, it looks like I'm going to have a lot of this left over, so I'm kind of excited about that. Called for flosses. Classic Colorworks, Gentle Art, and DMC. Oh, and Weeks. A little bit of everything. A really pretty muted color palette. So I'm enjoying it. I put some time in on summer. This is the Stitching Seasons by Stitching with the Housewives. It's their quarterly club with through Fat Quarter Shop. And it comes with everything that you need. It comes with the project bag, the cute little zipper pull charm, 28 count Evenweave, thin white pine board by Flair is the fabric. It comes with the pattern, obviously, and a card that, you know, goes over everything that you get and the value. It's nice. It's on in the finishing, how they finished it, information. Finishing fabric, the flosses. So these are really pretty colors. And I started working on the second house and the word summer. So I'm making some pretty good progress. Oops, sorry. It's opposite in the, when I'm looking at it on the screen. You can kind of see. It's pretty. So I've been, I haven't put in as much time on this, but I need to, because now we're technically in summer. And then I wanted to have this closer to being done than not. So I gotta kind of pick up the pace on that one. See, I did a lot, huh? Next, I'm working on Barbara Ann Designs Spring Cat. And I'm stitching her on Picture This Plus 36 count Mirage Edinburgh linen, sorry. And this is how far I got. I did this the afternoon of Father's Day. So I just had a little bit of the teal and a couple of the flowers done, and so I finished filling that in. I started working on her hip and the house on the front. So this was it worked up pretty easy. The fabric, really pretty mottled gray piece of fabric. So I didn't like the color fabric she was stitched on. I feel like she kind of disappears on it a little bit. If it were all more this lighter color here, that would have been one thing, but it's not. So I'm going with the gray because I think it'll pop. And then of course all the called for flosses. Nice, bright, vibrant colors. And last but not least, I pulled out the Seaside Sparrow. And I put a few stitches in him one evening because I thought he's kind of patriotic and he's summer. Stitching this Seaside Sparrow by Artful Offerings. He's just so cute. Stitching this on 32 count Belfast linen by Zweigart. I got it from Hobby Lobby. And I'm gonna lose a needle. I got his little body pretty close to being done. Well, I think the clothing portion, with the exception of his little neckerchief and the hat. But you know, I made progress. I did the whole I think I did the whole top. So now I'm ready to work on the wings and the head, and then start working on the stars. There's stars and one more star on the bottom and then some at the top, and then finish the border, and it'll be done. It's just so cute. So I thought I'd do something different. Again, one of those things that I've been thinking about while I was working on all of my patriotic stuff. I'm like, you know, I've got other things I really want to be working on. And then the called for. Really pretty. Muted colors, but they look nice on the white. I mean, they really are kind of popping off of the white nicely. So, anyways, that's what I got done this week. Haul. I ordered a couple of patterns and fat quarters. I think these are fat quarters. It's a Bella bundle, and I think they're fat quarters. In fact, I'll just start there. It is a sweet summer strawberry in blue, and I think that's because this fabric is the strawberries, and it's got like a blue gray background. Really pretty. I have some patterns that have strawberries, and I thought, oh, this would be maybe cute to back a pillow with. And then it had this fabric. And this one. This one. Oh. I love the vintage look of this. And then a really pretty floral stripe. So I picked that up. Not sure why. Because I think it was the strawberries, and it was this fabric here. It just really kind of grabbed me. And then I thought, this is a good neutral because it's just the red and the cream, and this is that would actually make a really pretty project bag. And this would make a really nice backing. Or if I wanted to take a stitch and make a bigger pillow and kind of do a border around the stitching, this would be nice. So I picked up that. And then I picked up by Plum Street Samplers the Mini Moon. I've been eyeballing this one for a while. I just think he's cute. The flowers are really pretty, and the bunny holding the flag, jumping over the house. I mean, how could I not? Mini Moon. So I picked up that. And then I picked up from the Blue Flower Happy Campers. I saw her show the finished piece on one of her floss tubes, and I fell in love with it because this is everything that our family does. We're outdoorsy. We like national parks. We like camping. maybe not so much now that we're older and the kids are grown, but you know, if the kids said, hey, let's go on a camping trip, we'd be like, sure, let's go. But yeah, so I picked that up, and now I'm confused. I don't know what should be this year's birthday start. So I'll have to think about that. But this might be in contention. Lots of DMC weeks and a little bit of crescent. I don't think I have any crescent. So I might have to substitute DMC. So I love it. I think that's it. I just did a lot of work and a lot of stitching in the evenings, and that's about it. I guess I'll just call it a day. I hope you have a really great rest of your weekend and a really great week coming up. I hope you get lots of stitching in. Again, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I really would appreciate it. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye.